Hey guys, how you guys doing? Whoa. So if you're living in Uganda, right? We have been in a period where we didn't have internet, we were taken back to the Stone Age times and no internet. I think in this current century, if there's no internet, it's like you've just been taken back in time. Even if you have a smartphone, a smartphone it's only a smartphone because you have access to internet. Like that's just how I see it. Well, you can download some games, movies, watch, like store stuff in your phone and have access to them, but the internet just gives it a notch, just takes it a step ahead. It makes it feel like an entirely different device, right? So having no internet felt like I was taken back in time. I could still watch movies on my phone, watch videos, whatever videos I had saved in my phone, listen to music, but the feeling that I couldn't have access to the internet, this thing that allows us to connect to people who are not in our immediate jurisdiction but who are far away and have access to content, trends, whatever, just felt like we had been taken back in time. But also, to be honest, man, if I'm giving my opinion on this whole thing of turning off the internet, we all know Savoy is winning. Like, we all know the president. This guy has been in power for like what? I don't know how many years he's been in power, but for a long time. It was expected that he was going to win the elections. I think sometimes all of these acts that they were putting up, sometimes it's just not necessary. Like, it's not necessary. Like, just let us have the internet, let's make the money, because this causes the economy to dip, right? It causes the economy to dip, and when the economy dips, well, for people like me, usually it's like an advantage when the economy dips and the dollar rate goes up. I can just go, change the dollars with a higher rate. But even speaking on that, today I just went to change some money and I was so pissed. The dollar rate was 3,555, I think. But I go there and the dollar rate has gone down to 3,470. I don't know if it's those guys who just decided to lower it down, because when I checked on Google, actively from there, it was showing 3,555. But those guys had taken it down to 3,470. Like, how is the dollar rate down to its normal state when the economy is just, starting to get back on track? Like, internet is just coming back. Or you're telling me internet doesn't really drive the economy, but also, there were like 2 public holidays or something like that where people didn't have access to the internet. I mean, 2 public holidays where people are not going to work, right? And since people are not going to work, transactions are not being made. The economy is stagnant. It's sluggish or something like that. So you expect the dollar rate to go up, and so some of us are supposed to like benefit from it. So I want to change money, and I was so pissed. I reached there and I'm just like I had calculated the money in my head, how I'm going to spend it, everything. Like, I played it all out in my head. But when I reached there and I'm seeing they're telling me it's 3,470, I honestly felt like going back. And yet this is like a lady I usually go to change money, right? And I reached there and I feel like, what, let me just hold on to my money as the dollar rate stabilizes. But I'm already in her face and I'm already asking her, so she expects me to like make a transaction or something. So I just made the transaction, but I was just so pissed, man. The dollar rate had gone down. I feel like these guys are the ones who just, decided that, what, let's ignore Google, let's ignore whatever metric determines the rate at which the dollar rate goes up and down, and just set up our own dollar rate. That thing pissed me off. But anyway, I got over it. I've been playing some video games, so I've gotten over it. But yeah, the economy was supposed to go down. The economy was supposed to go down. The dollar rate was supposed to go up, But when you come to think on it on a deeper level, like, there not being internet, this is something that drives the economy. Like, if every 4 years we are expected to have no internet whenever there's elections, how do you think it is for someone who's like setting up this business or this company that relies on the internet in the country? Like, how do you think they're going to feel, having this uncertainty that there won't be internet in the near future, in 4 years to come, when maybe their businesses are picking up? Because businesses don't just pick up immediately, they take a while to pick up. So if you're starting to turn in profits in the 3rd year of your business, that you've set up, like, now profits are starting to come in. You're 3 years down the road, and now 4 years. I think elections there in like 4 years. The 4th year is coming up. Then elections just comes and things, and now you have this slow session, and it may seem like it's just a small thing, that it's only like 3 or 4 days. I think it was 5 days, since Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It came back on Sunday, but also it coming back on Sunday, they were like, no social media. So it's like, even up to now, social media, we don't have access to social media. So you could argue probably like 8 days without internet. 8 days without internet. If you're a business that relies on the internet to make transactions and all of that, and just your business model is on the internet, 8 days is a lot of time. 8 days is enough time for a client to change their mind and start working with another service provider. Like, that's the thing that was just, when I was going into this period, I was a bit scared, because I was like, my clients may leave me and maybe get someone else. Even if they're just getting someone else for backup, that backup could come in and is doing a lot better work than I am, honestly. Like, sometimes, like, that's just the feeling I have, because if the client got you off of the internet, or if you got the client off of the internet, they could probably get someone else off of the internet who can do the same work as you. So why not? Like, especially if there's a clients like mine who send you work almost every day. Almost every day you're getting access to work, you're getting work sent to you. And if in 8 days, in 8 days you're not online, this is enough time for the person to get started with someone else who's delivering somewhat decent work, and picks up with their style. In 8 days, it's enough time for an editor, graphics designer, whatever, to pick up on a client's style. And when you come back online, this client could be like, okay, maybe they will start sending you little work, some small work here and there, and then before you know it, they're telling you, I'm sorry, but man, some excuse comes up. Well, that hasn't yet happened to me. That hasn't happened to me, not yet, but that hasn't happened to me. I've picked up from where I've stopped, because I did inform my clients, and I think I'm just not very serious, because if a friend didn't call me, there's a friend who called me, and he watches the channel, there are videos a lot here. If he didn't call me like 1 hour before and told me, my English is getting messed up, and told me that, bro, apparently internet is going to be off at 6, and it was like 5 minutes past 5, and I was just here busy watching Speed's live stream in Ethiopia. He was in Ethiopia. I was watching his live stream, and I was just so invested, telling myself I'm going to work on the video like in the night, sometime in the night, because that's usually when I start getting to work. Bro, this guy calls me. I just turn off everything. Like, at that point, man, Speed, I didn't want to know about Speed, man. I just started watching, like, started editing, like, set up everything. Just started getting to work. And the good thing, this was not like something that was more complex or anything. I had already put things in the timeline and what. So it was just like really quick, to get everything set up, And yeah, like, I was able to get the work done, because they didn't even shut the internet off immediately at 6. At least for us who are using fiber internet, it was turned off like at 6:20 or 6:25 there, so in that time, it was enough time for me to just concentrate, get shit done, and deliver the work. But then I also sent messages like, guys, man, I'm going to be off till like 18th or 17th, something like that. Like, guys, if you don't see me online, just know it's because of elections in my country. So that was something that really caught me off guard. And I think if I didn't communicate to them, actually, if my boy didn't send me the message early, bro, he doesn't, like, bro, you don't understand. Because right now I'm still in work, I'm still, having work with my clients and all, because I had informed them early. It's all because of you, bro. You hit me up, and then, you let, I'm sure he's going to watch this video. So, you hit me up and you let me know that, man, the internet was going to be off in an hour. Like, there was no prior knowledge. I mean, the information going around was they were going to put off social media only, right? Not the internet, just social media. And then, last minutes, they're like, we're turning off the whole internet. And like, what do you mean you're turning off the whole internet? So that thing really caught me off guard. But, let me explain how things went, when there was no internet, man, actually having no internet just made me feel a bit, it changed my mood a bit. It got me to feel what it's like not, in this constant limbo and this constant thoughts of work. Because working as a service provider, like, clients reach out to me for my service as an editor, as a graphics designer, right? Working as a service provider, right, it's a bit tough, and especially if you're doing it independently. You can't know when a client is going to send you work. You can just be there chilling and they just send you work. So every single time, you have to be ready to expect some work. And even when the work comes, even when the work comes, now you calculate, you calculate how much money you're going to make. Like, you're always in this thought of, if the work doesn't come, now you're feeling anxious, you're feeling some type of way because work isn't coming. That means you're not making money, right? Like, I'm always not, like, I can be stable, yes, I can be calm, I can sit on the balcony and just breathe in the air and take a walk and feel a bit happy, especially if I know the month has been going well. But if things are not picking up, considering the elections were like on 14th, that's way too early usually for me to determine how much I'm going to make in a month. It's way too early. So most times I'm there thinking like, oh, I'm in this active process because I need work. Like, I need people sending work in. So with there not being internet, right, me not having access to the internet, it took away that feeling, that anxious feeling, that feeling of, man, it's 14th, man, I need work coming in. I need to make sure I hit my goal for the month, financially. I need to hit my goal for the month. Like, that feeling disappeared. It kind of disappeared because even if, yes, I was kind of worrying that, man, I'm not going to be online for this time, so I'm going to miss out on work. But also, I didn't have to have that feeling of, man, it's 14th, it's 16th, it's 17th. And work hasn't yet come. Oh my God, what's going on? Now I have to reach out, like, guys, hey, what's up? Instead, it was just like, from now till 17th is me time. It's me time. You don't have to worry about clients not sending work or not because they can't have access to me. I'm offline, right? So I was just, there, like, day one, honestly, it felt a bit itchy because it felt a bit weird because I spend a lot of time on the internet watching YouTube videos, scrolling sometimes, but I spend a lot of time on the internet. So that in access to the internet was a bit unsettling because, man, I can't just go and watch like a random YouTube video. I can't go and scroll on Instagram Reels. Like, I can't see what's going on the internet. And remember, there was AFCON, Speed was touring. Like, there are these things that you could catch up with, but you couldn't do that because no access to the internet. I hope this thing is recording. Okay, it is. These things that you can catch up with but there's no access to the internet. So I first walked around my room like in this unease. Then I remembered, oh, I have YouTube Premium and they're auto downloads. So I just went and started watching some of the videos that I auto downloaded on my phone. And then later on, I just played video games throughout the night. And yeah, I think it reached like 12. Usually I don't sleep like at 12. I sleep like at 3 or 4. And it was like 12 and I'm like, damn, I finished watching the auto downloaded videos. I finished... I've played some video games. Now what else is there to do, man? I was just thinking like and I don't have sleep. I don't have sleep. I'm just there and then I just started thinking about the future, man. Just started walking in my room and just planning out things like, okay, if I can do this and this, if I can, I just started planning out the year 2026 in my head, something which I could probably talk about, but also I don't want to jinx myself because I feel like if I talk about my plans, like the real plans, not the plans that I will just be, brushing on here in the videos, like the real plans, if I talk about them in the video here, I may jinx myself because sometimes there's this, is it dopamine? There's a term that's used for it where you think about something and the more you talk about it, it gives you this sense that you've actually achieved it, even if you haven't achieved it, but just talking about it gives you this sense that you've achieved it. And sometimes it can, promote inaction. So I may be unable to fulfill my goals for the year because I'm constantly speaking about them. I know it keeps it top of mind, but constantly talking about it affirms that feeling of it's actually happened, and yet it hasn't happened. So I got time to walk around the room. I think from like 1 till like 3, I was just like thinking, planning, writing in my book, calculating, putting in numbers here and there, like just having that time to like really plan for the future. Because 2026, it feels like an uncertain year, but if you can plan, if you can see ahead, if you can get yourself to see ahead, then you can actually, like, to an extent, like, see through that you meet your goals for the year. And I hope that's what many of you are doing. Like, this was a time for you, honestly, to just have some time to like reflect on the future, man. I hope many of you are doing that. I mean, if you aren't doing that, we still don't have access to social media, so bro, get some time, delete that VPN, think about 2026, plan through 2026, and get yourself like a good plan out there for the year. It's not good to just, I mean, you can never fully plan out the year how you want it to go, but you can, to an extent, you can get there, right? So there was that. There was also reading. I also got back to reading like the next day. That's actually what I did. I started reading again. There was a book that I had auto opened because I use Apple's books feature, and since my books are stored on the cloud, once there's no internet, I can't access them. So there was a book that I'd opened before, so it was open, so I was reading the book. And also this book, I really, really like this book, and for a while I'd just been avoiding, not reading the book, but I kept on opening the book back and forth to read the book, especially now that I'm planning out 2026. Just a glimpse into my plans. I want to set it around business, probably get something started, like just get a source of income coming in, another source of income coming in. So this book, it's the personal MBA, and it's just centered around business. So reading this book just kept my mind constantly in that space of business. Yeah, like I just kept on thinking about business, planning. Every single day that I woke up, I was just like, planning, thinking about different options, like, just thinking about business. Like it was nice. So the next day I was still home. I watched some movies. Like I downloaded, I think I had like two movies that are like 2 hours long. So that's why I said some movies, like, these are like really long movies. So during the course of the day, I think I would wake up like at 12, 1, then take a shower, take breakfast, listen to some music, then after that go for like a small walk here, there, then come back, then sleep. I was actually taking like long naps during the course of the day, like the next day, even the other day, like just sleep in the afternoon. And that sleeping is not like I'm just sleeping, but because I'm actively thinking. You know that feeling where you like actively thinking about something, and then when you go to sleep, you dream about yourself actually having achieved that thing. So as I'm thinking about, like, these business ideas that I've been contemplating in my mind during the course of the day when I was actively awake, and then when I go back to sleep, when I sleep in the afternoon, I'm like dreaming where I'm like calculating millions and stuff, like money is coming and business is flourishing and all of that. Like, I was in this entire limbo. I was not actually sleeping. Like, I'm in bed, it looks like I'm sleeping, but I'm not actually sleeping. I'm just like actively thinking about this stuff. So yeah, I was just there, like, I did that for 2 consecutive days, just sleeping in the afternoon after I've finished reading and thinking. But then I think it was like Friday. Yeah, Friday I left, and then I went over to a friend's place. And so from Friday till today, Monday, I was at a friend's place. And day 1, I reached the friend's place, and day 1 we just jazzed, man. Just jazzing. This is a couple, married couple, and they're like really close to me. They actually invited me, like, yo, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? They give me a phone call, like, what are you doing? You just home, like, why don't you come and join in? Like, just come over, come and join in. Like, let's hang out. This is enough time for us to like just catch up, jazz, set plans for the year, and yeah, see it through. I don't know, whatever. Like, just come through. So, I was like, why am I killing myself here? But I was also feeling some type of way because I usually like to be alone in my space. Like this is something that's very, very serious for me. Like it's something that I try to work on from time to time, because being a loner like this, you get into that comfort zone where it's just like on your own, and you almost don't feel like being around people. Sometimes, like when they invited me initially, I first started thinking like, man, should I go? I mean, I've been enjoying my isolation in a way, just reading and then going into this dream world of the future and all of that. And I was just like, felt some type of, actually, I was called like at 10, actually, no, like at 11, because I think this time I woke up a bit earlier. So I was called like at 11. I was invited to come over. So, they were expecting me maybe like in the next hour, but I prolonged my going till like 5 or 6 there. So I first stayed in, just enjoying my isolation for the last time before I go in company of people. So it's just like enjoying my isolation for the last time. I even first sat like on the bed, just looked around my room, felt the atmosphere, stood outside, listened to some music, just in my isolation. Like, you guys, man, when you see videos where they're just talking about how introverts are when they're about to go out, when they have been invited for something or what, like, sometimes they can make fun how an introvert can first stay on his own, like, hey, first think the entire time. So that was me. I was just thinking the entire time, like, oh man, I'm about to go to friends. Okay, I need to adjust my mindset. I need to stop being locked in, because at first I was like really locked in. So I had to adjust my mindset, prepare myself, like do some jumping jacks, some push-ups, like really get myself in the mood, right? So once I felt like, I was ready, called, I didn't call anyone. I mean, I got out because no internet, no safe border. So I had to get out, packed stuff, got out, got a judge, went over. So day one, we just caught up, jazzed. Then we played video games. The next day we played video games. So, it's been a fun time, man. I was with friends every day. We had like something new to do. Day one, we just, the next day we were like playing video games for the entire day. Then the other day, bro, the third day was like, I don't want to say the worst exactly, but I'm not saying it in like the worst way, but like the worst in the sense that I was summoned, to explain why I don't have a partner right now. And what are my thoughts about marriage and having a partner and all of that. So I was summoned, and I had to like start explaining myself, and talking about this, talking about that, because there are a married couple, and they enjoy speaking about their marriage life and also sharing some tips here and there. And me, I'm usually like the outlier. I'm usually the guy who is fighting this whole thing of marriage, and I don't want to be in a relationship right now. I have to first make sure I have my money is right. I have to first make sure I have this, I have that before I can get anyone involved. Like I'm always fighting, I'm always the one who's always like, but and they're also like, fighting, getting back at me like, you're not getting any younger, man. You need to, I have intellectual talks with them, but also a lot of times, sometimes like they always, since I'm like a close friend of theirs, there's always this feeling like, what if Chris had a partner and we hung out together and he had like his wife, and well, I don't think I'm getting married right now. I'm not getting married right now, but that feeling like, we can hang out and like, you come over, we're like in pairs, everyone, you get the point, right? Like, not whenever I go, I'm just like on my own. I know, it's easy I can get along with anyone, even if I'm not like, and they can also get along with me, despite me not being married or having a partner. But it would just, improve the relationship a bit, when, we hang out and like, I have my partner, they are a partner, and, we just hang out and we just jazz. Like, there was that. So day 3 was just like, someone, and bro, I tried to like put up a fight here and there, like, I can't really get married and this and that. But yeah, my fight could only take me so far. So yeah, to a point, I mean, I did contemplate the idea, and my thoughts actually did shift a bit, because I know I'm very, very tough on myself. I'm the kind of guy who, if I'm to get into a relationship with you, right, I need to be able to like provide fully. I don't want this thing where, okay, yeah, I need to be able to provide fully. I don't want this thing where you come in and then I have to like battle myself every time I'm like in debt or something, like just to make ends meet, or I'm cutting expenses so that I can manage here and manage there. Like I don't really want that. I want when you come in, like I can handle everything, like I can get everything done. So usually whenever I start to tolerate the idea of being in a relationship, I always push it away because I don't feel like I'm ready, especially because of my finances. But they got me to see the other side, because they didn't start perfectly, and they were telling me how they actually met themselves. They actually started their journey of marriage and courtship, being a married couple early when they were like 26, which is the age I am right now. And if you didn't know, my birthday was like a few days ago, or about a week ago. It was like 8th Jan. If for those who are wondering, my birthday was on 8th Jan. And guys, we don't really celebrate our birthday, so the day came, it went, yeah, it happened. I did get a few happy birthdays from mainly family members, but yeah, that was really, let me not dwell on this, because I run by the thought sometimes, or usually I run by the thought that if I'm to celebrate my birthday, I need to amount to something, I need to have amounted to something. And at this point, I'm in my building phase, so it's not really something that I can exactly get excited about, that, oh, I'm celebrating my birthday because but yeah, my birthday was a few days ago, and yeah, turned 26, so they started their journey of marriage, and they've been together since they were like 26, and they're now in their 30s. So that was like a shock, because I didn't know this about them all this time. Like, I mean, they used to tell me like, oh, back then, oh, we this is how things started, but I never I was never told the age by then. And when I was told the age, I was like, hey, wow. So, they were convincing me that if you get the right partner, which is something that I could talk about in a different video, but if you got the right partner, you could, start to build with that partner, because they were not like it. I mean, how I'm doing right now, I'm doing a lot better than they are. I'm doing a lot better than they were at the time when they met. Like a lot better, which is something that I got surprised. Like, you don't get it. They were telling me you don't get it. For you even renting, I don't know in which apartment you're paying this, what. Like, bro, you're doing a lot better, and you're here beating yourself up that, oh, I don't have that. Bro, you're doing a lot better. So that was a bit surprising. So for them, they started their journey together, and they started building each other up, and where they are now, they're excited. Like, they could never have imagined where they are. I mean, they have a house, they have a car, whatever thing you can say signifies a prosperous family or something. Like, yeah, I mean, they're still aspiring for a lot more, and they are going to get that a lot more. But just seeing that picture from way back put me a bit at ease, because if I got the right partner, or if you out there watching this video got the right partner, the right person who you can build with, because the lady was telling me, I want to mention names, but I also don't want to mention names, so I'm just here. But yeah, married couple, and there's a female, male, you get. So the lady was telling me, when you get a good woman, right, she puts fire on your seat. Should I talk about this in another video? But yeah, she puts fire on your seat, and with this gets you to, like, be on your toes. Like, even when you're feeling a bit sluggish and you're not motivated, if you have a right partner, they will get you to be motivated and actually chase after something. So yeah, she was telling me, like, if you can get you a good partner who will not just be there to just take your resources and just benefit of your hustle and struggle, who will be there to actually help you, push you, comfort you, whatever you need to actually reach your goal, then it's going to be a good thing. So don't beat yourself up. Like, consider this. Like, don't be entirely closed off, because I'm like closed off. I mean, if you saw the video where I was like, there was a point last year where I fell victim to the idea of a relationship, and I was like, what's going on? What's going on? Because it was serious. Yeah, but if I got me a partner who would get me to build, then that's a tick. I should probably put out like a separate episode where I'm just talking about that entire topic of getting a partner. But yeah, that was day 3. Day 4 was a bit sluggish, I mean, we've already gone through the exciting things, played video games, jazzed, gone out for a walk, gone out. Yeah, so day 4 was a bit sluggish, but it caught up. We watched some movies. Yeah, we watched some movies in the evening. So yeah, and then Monday, here I am. Here I am Monday, and yeah, I mean, I'm back home. So now I have to get back to my introvert ways. I've been around people. I've had to put on that cloth of being an introvert or being an extrovert, and now back to my introvert ways and all. But yeah, I mean, I have some games. I feel like going to visit a friend was just like a perfect thing, because he has a PS, like they have a PS, and like just all these games and what. So I met with him, and he gave me access to his account, and like now I have access to like a ton of games, which is just going to keep me a lot more busier. I mean, I'd always been putting away buying games because, man, I had so much on my head. Right, I had so much on my head, so I was only limited to the only games I had with me. But now I have like all the God of Wars, so I'm like, I've been playing God of War. A few minutes before starting this recording, I was playing God of War, and instead of me putting it on the easy format, I put it on the hard one, because it's like, I need this to be a challenge. I need to stop playing games in like baby mode. I need to play games in in professional mode, so I put it in like hard. So man, I was here shouting in my room. I think my neighbors were like, what's going on with this guy? Because I was dying and dying and dying. I'll probably talk about the experience in another video, but yeah, I was here dying like crazy. So guys, that's really what's been up, man. This entire time without internet, that's what's been up. To be honest, I honestly didn't feel like I wanted internet to come back. At a point, I honestly didn't feel, because it just felt nice, man. Not worrying about money, not worrying about if clients are sending in work or not worrying about, oh, I have a deadline, I have to meet this deadline, I have to work on this project and all. Like, it was just simply living. Like, you just simply live, simply live. I mean, if this could happen every 2 or 3 months or 4 months, whatever, every often, like, they just put off internet for like, okay, not too long, but like 3 days or 2 days, just so that we don't have to have that constant feeling. But in an ideal world, that's not really how things are. We have to make money. Like, if this continues to happen, clients will get pissed, they will get frustrated, and you lose business, you lose work. And in an economy like this, where it's hard to get jobs, the internet is saving some of us. So if you don't have access to the internet, if you don't have clients from outside, like, that's an issue. So guys, I feel like I've rambled way too long. This video has been 33 minutes long. I feel like getting it to like just 35 minutes long, and I don't know what I'll be playing. Maybe you guys will watch me like shuffle something. I don't have something to shuffle here, or just staring at the camera, because I want it to reach like 34 minutes. But maybe I could just end the video here. Yeah, so yeah, that's really what's been up. Like, I just wanted to like document this, because just felt like there's some important time in my life, or in your life, in everyone's life, especially if you're in Uganda, where we have no internet. So this is a video I could watch back and just be like, oh, this is really the feeling, this is really how it was. Actually, coming to think of it, I could have been like vlogging each day as it went, and maybe put out videos. But bro, if you know how I don't have the discipline to sit down and like edit my videos, like sitting here and just explaining to you a story or how things were is a lot easier for me than sitting down to like edit an entire vlog of the entire period without internet. So yeah, guys, that's really been it. Exciting times. So yeah, it's failing to reach 35 minutes, but we're done.